Here's the current state of cheating in Pokemon. On an official Pokemon VGC stream, we have a Pokemon with the original trainer, freemons.org. That is how prevalent cheating is. That is how much of a problem cheating is. And the crazy thing is, Verlisify continues to always be right as the community gets more toxic and deranged and stupid about all of the cheating that's going on in Pokemon. It started off as, oh, no one's cheating, you're just lying, you're an idiot, Verlisify, even though it's like proven Wolfey is a cheater with his Raichu. It's not a coincidence Ray Rizzo and Wolf Glick are in the Pokemon World Finals with full teams of shiny Pokemon with legendaries and hidden power. They've always been cheaters. Full shiny teams have always been hacked, but that was a lot of controversy back in 2013 through 2017, or even now. You can't say full shiny teams are hacked, even though most non-shiny teams are hacked. Like over 90% of non-shiny Pokemon teams are cheated, and we get to the point where we just have like Machamps.com on a Pokemon stream because that's how accepted cheating is in Pokemon. So it went from no one's cheating to, okay, some people are cheating, but it's not that much of a problem, to, okay, everyone's cheating, but here's why it's a good thing. And all you have to do is go to the replies and the reactions to this to see people actually say that. Like, Pokemon is the only community toxic enough, filled with brats and idiots, to say cheating is good for competition. So, you know, we have effectively just this going around on Twitter, the reaction, that sucks. It sucks that the cheater got caught. It sucks Barry Bonds was found to not be eating a balanced breakfast, and that Lance Armstrong, all those bracelets we wore, were lies. It sucks so much for him. Not the opponents, not the competitors that are being disadvantaged by the cheating, but the person choosing to break the rules. We need sympathy for them. As long as the moves and things are legal, it shouldn't matter. Pokemon should make it easy to build teams strictly for competitive. And this is another, like, how did we get to this point? Where over the last decade, like going from Generation 5, Generation 6 with the Destiny Knot, incredible quality of life, actually making it possible to get 5 IV Pokemon relatively easily. Every generation of Pokemon, every new game has made it easier to get competitive Pokemon, and like I was saying, back in 2013, back in 2014, that will not be enough. You need to ban all the cheaters immediately. You need to completely purge the scene, because as long as it takes more than 2 minutes to make a full competitive team, people will cheat no matter how easy it gets. It's easier than ever. These people have never played the games that they're competing in, and somehow I'm in the wrong for saying lying, cheating, and stealing is wrong. It's the same thing over and over again, but here's where we're at because of it. Let's look at the reactions, because when something like this happens, it does get kind of split. It is easy, a lot easier than it used to be. Now that we have candies, mints, and we can change their nature to raise and lower stats, play the game, don't cheat. Yo, there's momentum. There's not a good like ratio, because like a 1.5% like ratio is pretty good. This is under that, but still like, oh, wait, we have that. I assembled a competitive team in Scarlet after like 2 hours max. It's easy, people are just lazy. Oh wow, so like, yeah, this person's getting roasted, but also we can see that they have a better like ratio because the community sentiment is cheating is good. Well, it does matter because you're getting hundreds of hours more practice than the legitimate player, and you also have infinitely more resources that you can react to. If there's a meta change, you respond to it instantly instead of losing time and always being behind the meta. You need to change your team before an event. It's not as easy, or maybe not even possible, for a player following the rules, so they will be disadvantaged. The evil and toxicity it takes to willfully lie like this is what upsets me most about the Pokemon community. And also this, like, how much cognitive dissonance do you have? How broken are you as a person to play devil's advocate to defend the cheater? Is it actually a big deal? Yes, cheating is wrong. It creates an objective advantage. This is why we only see cheaters winning events, even in Generation 9, where it's easier than ever to get a competitive team. So imagine how it was all those other times I've called out cheaters and saying cheating is wrong. Wolf never wins 2016 Worlds without that hacked Raichu and hacked legendary Pokemon. Wolf Glick is objectively a nobody without cheating. He doesn't make it to the finals in Generation 5. He doesn't qualify for any Worlds without cheating. He has no attention, no momentum, no publicity, and also likely just gets banned and has to actually be a functioning member of society with a normal job. It's not like he can give it fake stats that aren't possible. Again, the deliberate dishonesty to deflect from the actual problem with cheating. It's against the rules. You are breaking the rules to obtain game pieces. Without breaking the rules, you don't have any of those Pokemon to begin with. So you already just have the advantage right there, and it only gets worse from there. But then, wait a second, we have seen some rational comments inside of this. EXP candies being super plentiful, hyper training level 50, bottle caps, nature mints, vitamins. Wow. Like, there is no excuse to cheat. There hasn't been an excuse to cheat ever in Pokemon. But now we're seeing as much cheating as ever. So it's like, wait a second. You look at, 99% of VGC players cheating now, every top player getting caught. Oh, it was always like that, and it was worse when there was even more of an advantage the further back you go in previous generations. Legitimate players never had a chance, even though more people were actually trying to learn breeding and legitimate training back in Generation 6, back in Generation 7. That's why my channel blew up, because there were more good people in the Pokemon community trying to learn how to play the game and actually playing the game. But now, the modern generation of just worthless, entitled brats, they've taken over Pokemon. I've been talking about that for years, and now we can see the result. Verlisify always right. We also see other bad actor influencers just laughing at the situation instead of being like cheating is wrong, because they defend cheating, their friends cheat, they cheat for their content, and they've also attacked my character for being against cheating in the past. There's no other good people in the Pokemon community, and that's why we're here. Great meme on this one. Again, instead of cheating is wrong, trying to make a joke of the situation where it's like, wait a second, like, this is how bad VGC is, Wolf needs to be banned. If you aren't making a video saying like, oh, here's the proof Wolf cheated, he needs to be banned, here's also a lot of the other cheating that's going on, just go to Kurt's Twitter, there you go. But a very high like ratio because he has fostered a community of toxic brats that don't think cheating is wrong. That's a new one I haven't heard before. Verlisify. It's getting a huge boner right now. I mean, that was mostly what happened with Worlds, and a lot of the reactions from that were accurate when we were like, Verlisify right now, just the biggest smile or something. But nothing's being done. The dude advertised a hacking site on the Pokemon VGC stream and just got a DQ. Like, maybe gets a ban for how egregious this is. But we haven't seen enough bans for any amounts of cheating, no matter how proven, no matter how many disqualifications, no matter how illegal the Pokemon is. That should be 2 years minimum, but also with how prevalent the cheating problem is, like, just permaban. Like, you have no right to play Pokemon again because you chose to cheat. For bans, maybe we need to go case by case. Oh, this was your first disqualification, you only had one hacked Pokemon on your team, even though you likely knew it was hacked. It seems like it wasn't directly from you, so fine, we'll give you, a 1-2 year ban for that. But when the OT is a hacking site, there's no excuse. This was a deliberate act to cheat. You have no right to ever play Pokemon again, and the scene is much better for it. But once again, going into the toxicity and evil of the Pokemon community, I'm against lying, cheating, and stealing. That makes me enemy number 1. Also, people are like, oh, Verlisify's bad. He calls people idiots and he's mean to them. But then this is the name-calling and hate that targets the only good people in the Pokemon community. Should say everything, and then bro got DQ'd right after. They were not messing around. Except they were, because, like, we've only talked about, oh, there's a lot of cheating, and there's always been a lot of cheating, and here's the reaction cheating, but how does this happen? Like, another thing people say is, oh, Wolf didn't cheat because the hack check didn't catch him. Which is also just, like, the dumbest cognitive dissonance refusal to cope with the fact Wolf is a cheater that you can imagine. Like, again, like, it's idiots, it's liars, it's just the most toxic, evil traits you can find in people. If you take steroids and pass a drug test, you were still cheating and on steroids. If you use a hacked Pokemon and it didn't get caught by the hack check, which has been notoriously flawed forever, like, oh, they upgraded it for Worlds. That also kind of shows, like, wait, there was a vulnerability that they found, they busted out at Worlds, but now it's always hacker, cat, and mouse. That's why there's hacking in everything. Scripting ran away in League of Legends, and now we have Vanguard, but Vanguard doesn't stop all the cheats, and everyone and their mom is saying that. A kernel level anti-cheat doesn't even stop all the cheating. Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, unplayable with the amounts of cheating depending on like what your skill bracket is. This Pokemon breaks the rules of VGC, further proven by the fact that he got disqualified for only having one Pokemon. And that's where we get into like other weird things about the rules these brats refuse to understand. Team error severe. A player has fewer usable Pokemon remaining than the permitted minimum team size after receiving earlier penalties. So it is weird how this is handled with the Pokemon company, because you can have two hacked Pokemon on your team, still like be able to compete. You have a third one, well now you have 3, you can't have 4, and then that's what gets you disqualified, even though it says a Pokemon on a player's team also appears in section 2 of the manual team checking appendix. And any indication via official tools that a Pokemon has been illegally manipulated, such as a player's team failing an electronic hack check. We've also seen with some other things where it's like, oh, if you have a lot of hacked Pokemon in your PC box, that gets you disqualified as well. So they are kind of like, they're finally taking the rules seriously to disqualify people. Still not seeing bans because, again, then they lose their entire scene, which I said back in 2016 needed to happen. We could have rebuilt to a stronger Pokemon by this point. But the manual team checking includes Pokeballs that cannot be found through normal gameplay or official promotions, Pokemon nickname or OT that indicates it was not obtained via normal gameplay or official promotions. So that's one of those things where it's like, well, this could get your Pokemon removed, and then you're still allowed to play. And that's also under manual hack checking, but this should just be automatic hack checking. And if your team isn't manual hack checked, you just get super far into the tournament or win with hacked Pokemon because the hack checking is so terrible. Actually, even better. The dude didn't get disqualified, he dropped, but because the Pokemon Company is corrupt, there's really no difference, I guess. And you can even use his online handle to find he got his entire team through a hacking Discord, which also shows how bad the automatic and manual hack checking is because the Pokemon Company doesn't care. Which is why I make these videos, to give it attention so the Pokemon Company is eventually forced to care. At some point, this has to be legally actionable to allow certain players to break the rules, never get punished, and then steal prize money from other competitors that are paying money to enter the event. We can also use this to prove that hacked Pokemon give such a massive advantage in Pokemon VGC that it's impossible to win as a legitimate player because, oh, we have, 4-0 players right here. Now, this is a special event, which is like a pop-up regionals. I don't know the attendance or the turnout for it. And does the math on Swiss really only 50% of players can be 1-0, 25% 2-0? So we're already dealing with, a top 10%, 6% player who's only there because of cheating. And much like we see with all these former regional champions getting caught cheating either at the regionals or in a future events, like, oh, wait a second, they've just been cheating the entire time, just like Wolfey, Ray Rizzo, and every other top VGC player. Cheating gives that much of an advantage to where it's only cheaters winning and doing well inside of events. When I went to my first regionals back in Generation 5, I actually feared like, oh, if I have an illegal Pokemon, I'm going to get banned. I'm not going to be allowed to play Pokemon anymore. And I love Pokemon more than anything. That's why I've been continuing this channel. That's why I started this channel. Pokemon has been my entire life. I respect it too much to cheat, but even if I was in like the most desperate situation to cheat, being banned from events was too devastating for me to take the risk. Wolf and friends, they found the sauce all the way back then, because like, oh, at worst, even with like the most cheated team that gives you an objective advantage back in Generation 5 and Generation 6, using Pokemon that gave objective stat advantages because they could not be humanly obtained for being 1 in trillions of odds throughout the entire team, throughout multiple teams, throughout multiple years of competitive Pokemon, they just took the risk, and turns out the worst thing that would have happened is a disqualification. And it seems like you can get multiple disqualifications and still not receive bans inside of Play Pokemon. They took the risk, didn't even get disqualified, and then realized they get a free ticket, and now they're friends with everyone at the Pokemon Company who openly allow their players to cheat. Hilarious, Buddy threw away a competition using Gen Pokemon that every player gets automatically. What's the reply to that? Like, what does the person have to say here? Every player who hasn't... See? It's just toxicity against legitimacy. I've been saying that since, 2016, where it's like, wait a second, Pokemon's the only community where not only is like cheating supported and defended, but you get attacked as a legitimate player. You get insulted for saying cheating is wrong, and you get berated for wasting your time when everyone else is cheating, even though it's against the rules. And it also further proves, on top of the dozens of other examples I've given, of players not knowing anything about the game because no one in VGC actually plays the game, which is why they defend cheating. So yeah, like, you get this. And then it takes the like, if you're at that point in the game, to be able to get Terapagos, you have enough resources to max out your Terapagos instantly. And then just more losers that refuse to accept cheating is wrong, especially in children's game, and you have to lie about it, and then you're stealing tens of thousands of dollars in prize money. Straight up evil. It's choosing. It's choosing to be evil. The Mon is legal. Does it really matter if it was Gen or what website it came from? And, like, this is the lie. This is the lie, because it's illegal by the rules. There is no such thing as a legal genned Pokemon. There is no such thing as a legal hack. You can't have legitimate cheating in any form of competition. This rule is the blatant catch-all. So yeah, that's current state of Pokemon VGC, which has actually been the current state of Pokemon VGC for its entire history, and the community just kind of gets worse and more toxic about it, and just unable to accept that cheating is wrong. Made even worse because Pokemon is objectively one of the most accessible forms of competition ever. Don't let anyone else lie to you about that. It doesn't have the physical barriers that esports and sports does. It also costs thousands or tens of thousands of dollars less, and the time commitment is way less than anything else as well. And also, there's never an excuse to break rules that you opt into. That is a choice to be a scumbag and ruin other players' experiences to steal prize money through dishonest means. And I keep saying this, after Wolf got caught cheating with proven hacked Pokemon multiple times in recent years, I thought that's gotta be it. That has to be over. Like, now Pokemon VGC can finally implode to rebuild. That didn't happen. Then the 2022 World Champion got caught cheating, and then the second place admitted to cheating. Nothing. We saw record disqualifications at the 2023 World Championships. Nothing. And now hacked Pokemon on stream. I'm expecting nothing, but as you can see, the cheating problem has boiled over, but also hacked Pokemon clearly on stream with Premier Ball, Incineroar, Beast Ball, Porygon, all of that other stuff, and nothing has happened. The scene is rotten because the community is rotten, the Pokemon company is corrupt, and all the VGC players are evil. Let's go. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.